All right, peace, family. You know, today we have with us on the School of Thought, this is July the 9th, 2017. We have Brother David Miller, known as the Black Sheep on. Peace, King. How you doing on this afternoon?
Oh, I'm doing good. It's a wonderful Sunday. You know, like you said, David Miller, partner with Major Visibility, a marketing company. Black Sheep with Southern Route Radio, sideshow production with my videography work. Boy Super, ex-rapper. I'm all that. I know it sounds confusing, but it's confusing because you can't catch me, baby. You can't catch me.
Yeah. Wonderful, man. You know, my cousin and I, we have Yosef Indrael in the house on this afternoon. What's good, cousin?
Peace, family. Peace. Just happy to be here today to share more information and build with the people, you know, and it's good that we got Brother David on here, and this is good to hear, you know, different perspectives from different black men on this topic. So, yeah, I'm ready, and I'll be coming from a metaphysical perspective tonight. So, I'm ready. This is, I think it'll be a good topic.
Wonderful. So, cousin, what you bringing us on this afternoon, man? What's the topic of discussion today?
Well, the topic is understanding the family structure, the black family structure, most importantly, because we definitely need to understand these things. And I was in meditation a couple of days ago when this really came into my mind. Actually, about a week ago, and it really came into my mind that we should do a show on the understanding of the black family structure. And I just want to, my perspective I'm coming from is I want to take people deep and to get them to really understand what a woman is on an energy level, what a man is on an energy level, what a child means on an energy level, and what the family is, you know, the purpose of the family. And this is something I've studied intensively, so, yeah, so that's what we'll do.
Wonderful. Okay, then, cousin, you know, so I want to go ahead and bring it in. Before I do that, I want to send some love to my queen that's listening in out there. Queen Imani Amari, my wife, man, she's definitely my supporter. You know, the one that really had inspired me to do the things that I'm doing. You know, God's definitely used her to speak to my life. So, being that we talk about family, I definitely want to acknowledge my queen out there. So I love you, beautiful. Thank you for tuning in and supporting us. We appreciate you. All right, cousin, go ahead and take us on in, brother.
Brother Amari, is there anything else that you want to tell the people about, like the websites or the Facebook pages or anything you're doing, or you probably do that at the end of the show, or any way people can reach you? Or
absolutely, you know, Black Community Empowerment. It's on Facebook, and also you can find us on YouTube. It's called BC Empowerment. It's all together, BC Empowerment, and you can also find me on Instagram as Amari, AMARE_AMARI. And that's the way everybody can contact me.
All right. So, yeah, so once again, this is our brother Yusuf here. And, you know, also, you know, I ain't gonna let Brother Amari just give credit to his wife. I'm going to give credit to my wife, too. You know what I'm saying? I bet her. She could be listening in, you know. So I bet her, you know. So, you know, this is a great time to do that.
Smart man, I knew it was something about it.
You know, and this is a good time to do that because, you know, we just celebrated our 10-year anniversary last Friday.
Congratulations.
So yeah, so thank you. So it's definitely something that we're excited. So I kind of feel like I got a little experience to you know, I'm a little bit of a vet now. You know, I've been through some things.
Watch out,
you know what I'm saying?
Now.
I've been through some things. You know, I did a lot of extensive research, and I can truly say that I have successfully helped my wife raise her consciousness and bring her from Christianity into what we believe now which is more of an Afrocentric spiritual-based thing, and we're raising our daughter. So just to let people know, I do have a beautiful wife of 10 years. We'll just call her by her spiritual name, Katara, Sister Katara. You know, I ain't gonna. She's very secretive about her information, so I ain't gonna say too much about her Facebook page and all that. You know what I mean?
Smart man.
But
yeah.
but you know, that's the love of my life, and she definitely supports me and stands behind me in what I do. So I have to give credit to the queens. You know, I have another little queen, Princess Nubia. You know, Princess Nubia, my little daughter. So yeah, that's a new one coming up. You know, I'm raising another queen myself, so. You know, I'm just excited to talk about this topic, and because a lot of things I'm going to be talking about is the things I talk about with my wife, and these are also the things I talk about I'm going to be raising my daughter in. So, yeah, so it's very cool. So once again, it's Brother Yusuf and, you know, Yusuf Inter-El, and today we're going to talk about the family structure. And the first thing I'd like to talk about is understanding family from as a metaphysician. One thing I learned is that if you could break things down to the most simplest form, which is energy, you can pretty much understand anything. So it doesn't matter what I look, and this is why I push metaphysics so heavy to people, because it doesn't matter, and for those who don't know, metaphysics simply means above the physical or higher than the physical, and that's kind of what I study, beyond or higher than the physical. So I've learned in metaphysics that once you break things down to the most simplest level, which is energy, you can pretty much understand everything, you know, pretty much understand everything. And that's kind of what I want to start out saying is my understanding of the family structure from a metaphysical, energetic level. And some people may disagree with me, you know, but I'm gonna just break it down from the best way I know energy works, you know, as above, so below. As above, so below. As within, so without. So, you know, first thing I really want to say is the roles of the family. What really is family? Family is simply a program that the Creator created to help people evolve. That's one of the best ways I can help people understand what family really is. How, let's just say, the Creator looks at family and why the Creator created family. You know, the Creator created family so that when souls incarnate down here, they can work out their karma or the things they need to work out through their family bloodlines. They can also perfect their souls through their family's bloodlines. So just to expound on that on a deeper level, a lot of people try to figure out why there's so much death in a family. Maybe a certain family has a lot of rape or molestation. Maybe a certain family has financial difficulties. Maybe a certain family has sicknesses that they deal with, you know. Some families have multiple murders in their family. These are what you call generational curses. And every person needs to understand that we are all put in these bloodlines. The Creator put us in these bloodlines. First of all, we chose to come here. That's a whole other story. We got put in these family bloodlines to work our karma out and perfect our souls. To perfect our souls. So that is the purpose of family. And you have different levels of family. You have family on a physical level and a spiritual level. You know, we can call them supernatural parents or spiritual parents. Yes, everybody on this planet has a supernatural parent or a spiritual parent. And then you have your physical family. The physical family is with you in one lifetime. Depending on your karma, you may have to come back through that same bloodline on a continuous basis. You could have been your great-great-great-great-grandfather. That could have been you, you know. And usually, depending on how bad the family karma is, a person will continue to incarnate in that bloodline. So that's one of the most important things people need to understand with family. You're in it to win it. That's really what it is. You're in it to perfect the bloodline, and all that depends on the children. All that depends on the children and how the family structures itself so that the next generation can evolve the family. That's the point. So, you know,
now can we say this too? I want to definitely, because you said something powerful when you start talking about these generational curses. And so is it safe to say too then that the reason why some of us really don't gel, if you will, with certain people within our family is because it's a spiritual thing?
Yes, that is exactly true. Like I said, your physical family is usually with you through one lifetime. Sometimes you'll meet a person again in a different lifetime, but they may not be your cousin. They may not be your brother. They may be your best friend. You know, and I know some people believe that you only live once and you die, you go to heaven or hell, and that's pretty much it. But that's just not That's just not the reality of things. That's just not how it really is. And this is why the Vatican hides multiple levels of information about different things. Because family is something that they never really want people to understand, a deeper family structure. You know, so yes, there are people in family who are connected spiritually on spiritual family levels. And when they're together as family, they tend to come closer together, and they're not as close to the rest of the family. So that's something people need to really understand. Family generational curses are something that we need to overcome. You know, we really need to overcome these things. So yeah, that is what that is. That definitely is
now,
what that is.
How do we, I heard that you made that statement, how do we go about doing that?
I'm sorry, can you repeat that one more time?
Sure, no problem, because being that you had mentioned that the generational curses, you said we have to overcome it. So how can one go about, you know, breaking free from these curses then? I heard
that's a good question.
We all know that exists, you know, in regards to like alcoholism. You got people that have rape in their family, you know, molestation, you know, drugs, you know, in their family. You know, so yeah, I think that's a very important thing to target, man. So how people can go about breaking these things off their life. Even money trouble. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are not wealthy in families. Some would actually, you know, contribute that to colonialism. You know what? You know, they would say because of slavery and, you know, so how will we handle that?
Brother David, was you trying to say something?
Yeah, I was going to simply say I heard that breaking the family curses is the way to reach nirvana and become enlightened, or that is the purpose in life, actually. I heard that was our purpose in life, was to break those bondage curses that our family carry, to then give us a reincarnation of our whole bloodline for that person to do that. That is our purpose in life. I've heard that before.
Yes, that is true to a degree. That is true. There are many different ways to reach nirvana, which is enlightenment, and that's one of the ways. Yes, overcoming your family bloodline's curse is definitely one of the ways to evolve yourself. So yes, and cousin, I know you was asking in what ways can we overcome it? You know, what ways of what? Well, it depends on what your family curse is. You know, some people's family generational curses are not that hard to overcome. It just requires focus and paying attention to it. Some people's family curses will take generations of passing right knowledge on to the children and overcoming it little by little by little, based on what one person did in the past in the family bloodline. You know, on the family bloodline. So let's take something, for instance, like sickness, right? There are some families out there that deals with a lot of sickness. If a family has a lot of, you know, people dying from cancer, AIDS, people being born sick, the babies born sick, sickle cell, different things like that, this is a generational curse. And one of the more famous ones is sickle cell, you know. This is a generational curse. And the way you defeat that, I have friends that I have a friend that has a child that has sickle cell. And, you know, one thing I always told him, I said, look, man, I said, give your daughter has to become a vegetarian. She has to be. And he said, oh, that's interesting. He said, well, why? I said, because the more green foods you consume, you absorb more oxygen into your body. And certain sicknesses and viruses can't live in your body when your blood is supremely oxygenated. He said, well, that's interesting you say that, because when she goes to the hospital, they give her oxygen. I said, well, there you go. There you go. Absolutely. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
So if he teaches his family, takes his place as a man, he teaches his family, you know, hey, this is what I'm going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And he raised his daughter in that. The daughter has a good chance of breaking that generational curse and not passing that on. Because the cells know, okay, we defeated this thing, we're not going to let it pass on to the next generation. You know, and this is what's happening. So a lot of these generational curses are connected to our cells, the cells in our body. What do cells do? They hold energy. You know, you put a black man in a jail, they call it a cell. You know, you break down light through what? A prison or a prism. A prism, which is a prison. And you lock light into cells. You see what I'm saying? So the whole jail system is even set up to take in the energy. So once you change the molecular structure by first changing your mind, changing your mind, and once you change your mind, the cells know, and they start structuring that. Now, you have a part of yourself called the ego that fights that. The humane part of you that wants to do what it wants to do, the Bible calls that the flesh. It's just another word for the ego, and we fight these things, and it does not want you to survive. It does not want you to grow,
That's good, because flesh
and we have to know how to overcome that. Excuse me?
Flesh is made out of cells.
There you go. And it does not want us to overcome that. So, the most important thing that needs to happen in every family structure, you have the male, the female, and the child. The male's role is to gather information and build a foundation for the next generation, for the child, so that child can have something strong to stand on and pass on to the next generation, no matter what it is.
Absolutely.
You have to give that child something to stand on. I even tell people sometimes.
Are we all in agreement that the male role is to build the structure of the family?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Without a shadow of a doubt. Without a shadow of a doubt. The wife's job, the female's job, is to take the energy that the male provides and expand it, take it to the next level. That's what she does. The man gathers the food, the woman cooks it. The food that she cooks feeds the whole family. You see what I'm saying? Whatever the man information that he gives the woman, she takes it and turns it into something greater. That's what a woman does. She is the physical incarnation of the Creator.
Absolutely.
That's what a woman does. That's what a woman is. And this is just my opinion and what I believe, and some people may disagree. But I believe the black woman is God. I believe the woman is God, and I believe that the man is the son of God.
Mm-hmm.
The man is the son of God. So they're both God. They just have different roles. They have different roles. Yes, sir. So the child's role is to take what the parents do and take it to the next level, whether it's a girl or a boy. They take that to the next level. So if you give a woman sperm, she give you a baby. If you give her a house, she give you a home. You bring food home, she turns it into a dinner. That's what a woman's job is. You see what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
Stand behind her man and expand it. You cannot have a nation. You could not have a nation without a woman. It is impossible. Your nativity comes from your mother.
Yes, sir.
Period. Point blank.
May I chime in on that, man? Because I
want
to talk about this because I noticed that this European mindset, of, I would say, degrading our women. Taking them off the throne, man. Dethroning them and calling them female dogs, and the concept of G's up and hoes down, man. I really want to tackle that because we're talking about a mindset here earlier, and so I believe that this mindset has to be broken. This imprisonment in the mind and the degrading of our women, man. We should praise our women, man. We should uplift our women. Both.
Indeed.
I'll say spiritually and physically. Not just praising them with our mouths and then, they don't feel any love for us, no action behind what we're saying. Just paying the bills, but never showing that spiritual time. That prayer time, man. That verbal. Encouragement, speaking into our wife's life, encouraging them and supporting their dreams and goals. You see what I'm saying?
Indeed.
So I definitely have to inject that, man, because there's not enough of that, man. Women, like you said earlier, within our culture, has definitely held us down for decades.
Yes, sir.
Decades.
Yes, sir.
I mean, look at Mother Harriet Tubman. You know what I'm saying? She did stuff that most men would have urinated and defecated in their pants doing. You see what I'm saying?
That's right. And they said Harriet Tubman ain't play. That's right.
Angela Davis, man. Look at Shirley Chisholm. Look at what she did. She ran for presidency again. Something that most men will run away from, and I just do not like even within a Christendom, You know what I'm saying? How women got to be quiet in the church. They can't say anything. You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna explain why.
You have a mother. You have, you know what I'm saying, a queen run a kingdom. There's a lot of this ego, like you talked about earlier, and this pride, man. You know what I'm saying? Let's tackle that.
Yeah, I'm gonna definitely talk about that too. Where that comes from. But let me just say this too about Harriet Tubman. You know, she didn't play, boy. If people really read the history on her, they said if you made too much noise, she'll shoot you in the face. You know what I'm saying? We gonna get free, or we gonna die trying. That was her motto. If you say, "Oh, the slave master coming," bow. You know, you'll be gone. She didn't play that. They said Harriet Tubman will shoot you in your face.
Yes, sir.
That's how bold she was. That was a real soldier there. You know, you ain't gonna about to get us caught. You better shut your mouth. Pow! If I gotta shoot you to get the rest of us free, that's what I gotta do.
That's right.
She did that for multiple years.
That's right, man.
Huh?
There we go.
Yeah,
I agree. And she rode 40, 50 deep.
That's right. At a time.
And Queen Azinga. What about Queen Azinga? You know the one who she's the African queen. You know, female warrior queen. You know what I'm saying? Who conquered men? They conquered men. You see what I'm saying? They took them down. You understand?
That's right. That's right. So that's right.
Well, they hurt you over their children now. The lioness in the jungle. She the hunter.
That's right.
You know
that's
what
so
I'm
true.
saying?
So true. So like, and people got to understand too that Harriet Tubman, one of the main ways she used to get free, she used astrology. That's right. She followed the stars and stuff like that on that Underground Railroad, which was a code word. You know, Europeans thought they was really underground doing stuff. You know what I'm saying? So just powerful. There's so many powerful women that we could name. You know, we wouldn't have enough time in the show. It's just so powerful. So I think one thing people really,
you know, they take the goddesses too, man. You know, they make them all into, you know, darkness, man. You see what I'm saying? They make.
I'm gonna explain all that.
Most of the goddesses you hear, they all are associated with some type of orgies or, you know what I'm saying? They're all degraded.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna explain all that.
It's degraded, man.
Yeah, the femininity.
That's right. That's right. I'm gonna explain all that.
Man, there would be no life without the woman, man. And I know one thing. My mother, she raised me to be. I don't agree with a woman can't raise a man to be a man because it's very simple. It's about maturity. Being a man is very simple. It's about being responsible. You understand?
That's a very good
man,
point.
First of all, means mature. You understand? So she can teach him how to be responsible. My mother taught me how to find a job. My mother told me, you know what I'm saying, this is the last pair of shoes and clothes I'm going to buy you, you know, and she told me how to go find, you know, a work permit and how to catch the bus. My mother taught me how to clean my home, how to make sure that I'm meeting appearance. In fact, when I was being bullied, my mother said, baby, stand up and fight. Be a man and fight for yourself. Don't let them bully you. Stand up. You understand? My mother taught me that. You understand? So for men to degrade women, man, that's a problem with me. You know what I'm saying?
I agree.
Because
I agree wholeheartedly.
My mother raised all of you. You know what I'm saying? Auntie Nisi raised her boys. You see what I mean? We've seen some strong women. Grandma Esther raised her daughters. We've seen some strong women. You know what I'm saying? That have fought for us and clothed us. You know what I'm saying? And cooked for us. You know, and man, I'm telling you, bro. You know, I'm gonna give it over to you because I could go on and on about our women, man, and how we should protect them, man, and how we should, you know, uplift them. You know what I'm saying? How we should cover them. And don't leave it up just to the woman to be at home to do the cooking and the cleaning and all these things that we do and say, oh, that's the woman's job.
Indeed. Very powerful. So, very powerful, man. And, yeah, I want to touch on a few of those things, too. And, well, one thing we definitely got to understand is that the ideologies that we have today, the mindsets that we have today is all European-based. You know, and this is no offense. This is 100% facts. And we have to understand when Europeans first put themselves into African culture, the things that they saw, they disagreed with because in the European world, the man runs everything. which is more of a patriarchal system. And when you do that, everything is out of divine order. Back in the African kingdoms, yes, there were a few patriarchs, but the majority of them were matriarchs. The women ruled, but they wasn't in the front ruling. The woman is the keeper of the law. The man is the enforcer. So the kings was always in front, but nobody really knew the secret system of how these empires were ran. But that was the reason why they lasted for so long, was because they upheld their women. And that's something that we have to understand. We have to understand the science on that. So when the European came over, one thing they did was they shot the noses off the black people, and they didn't want to see the image of a king or a pharaoh standing next to his pharaohess. They didn't want to see that. They didn't believe that a woman should be lifted up with the man. They believed a woman should be put away somewhere. And everybody knows the whole thing that the woman had to go through to fight for their rights in America and all. This is the system of the European, like the male rules. They try to take some of those traits and they try to incorporate it. And this is one of the reasons why England is one of the few countries that's still dealing with their old way of doing things, and they have a queen. You know what I'm saying? Queen Elizabeth, her great grandmother was a black woman. Queen Charlotte. This is facts. You know what I'm saying? Queen Charlotte. If you trace it back, you'll see they was connected to the Moors, who ruled Europe for 700 years before the Europeans took over. They ruled Europe for 700 years, set up the kingships in Cambridge and all the great universities you talk about in Europe was all started by black people, the Moors. That was all started by us. This is historical facts. So at the end of the day, we have to understand the power of that. And I can even go into Native American tribes. Native American tribes go by their mother's bloodline. If your father's Cherokee, your mama Iroquois, you were Iroquois. Because you can always prove your mama's bloodline. You always know who your mama is. You may not know who your daddy always is, but you always can prove your bloodline through your mother. And that's how they went through it. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's very powerful when you really think about it and when you really go into it. Now, another thing I want to explain.
Well, what about the Hebrew Israelites now? They'll tell you through the daddy now.
Right. Well, that's right, and that's they saying they follow the Bible. You know what I'm saying? So and right, and you can't tell them that thing wrong. So hey, now I do believe black people are connected to the Hebrew lineage, but I can't get with that Bible. That's my problem. I can't get with that thing. So, but hey, that's different. I totally disagree with what they do, but that is what it is. But one thing I definitely want to talk about was the energetic perspective of a male and female. And one thing we have to understand is light comes out of darkness. That's a scientific fact. You cannot have light without darkness. Darkness can exist without light. But you cannot have light without the back spread of darkness. It just won't, you can't see it. It just don't want to exist.
The yin and the yang.
The yin and the yang, and it's different, the negative and the positive and all this stuff. So what really is this thing? Well, a man is light. He is the fire. He is the passion. He is the positive polarity of this energy. And this is very important for people to understand. I want people to listen to this because this is really help you understand your woman. And for some women, this will really help them understand their men. Males, exactly, electricity, fire, the positive polarity. Women are darkness. They're cold. And their polarity is negative. Doesn't mean that they're bad. We're talking about energetic polarities that come from the same source. You see what I'm saying? But this is the dope part about it. Everything that I named about a man comes out of the darkness.
So
when you're born,
at this point right now in our discussion, we should separate the word evil from the word darkness, the word bad from the word negative. We should separate those right now with the conversation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, 100%. The only reason we are black because of our mama.
Yeah.
And that's just a fact. You won't be black without your mama because the woman gave birth to the first man. Regardless of what people say, and it shows the lack of study and really understanding from a scientific level, people got to expand their mind. You just can't base your whole life on the Bible. Yes, the Bible has good principles. You just can't base your whole life on the Quran. The Quran has good principles. But look, come on, y'all. We got to be honest. Every man got a belly button. You know, it ain't no man out here that can say he came from a woman. And they'll say, well, excuse me, let me rephrase that. It ain't no, let me rephrase that. It ain't no man out here that can ever say they came from themselves. Every man came from a woman.
We weren't born of a virgin, man.
Right. People need to get out of that. People need to get out of that, you know? So at the end of the day, like, people who seclude their mind to that one thing, they get stuck. You know, they get stuck in things. Every man comes from a woman. That's a fact. You can never be greater than your mama. How can you be greater than the one that created you? Now, don't get me wrong. I ain't putting the man out. A lot of them have to do with passing on his genes too. But I'm gonna tell y'all a secret. And some people may not like this. Whoever on the line, some people may like. But this is an actual scientific fact. A woman has majority of mitochondrial DNA in their body. Okay, which is the majority of the building blocks. Okay, a man's sperm. Men don't have mitochondrial DNA, but guess what? They got it in their sperm. So what are you really doing when you're procreating with a woman? You're passing on your mama's genes. And you're passing on a part of yourself. And this is the science that the ancients knew. When you took a child and you sit the child on the mother, that's the child sitting on the throne. Because in Egypt, the way you write Aset is a throne. You actually draw a throne. That's how you write Aset, who was Isis, who was the mother. You know, you can call her the mother of Egypt. She's one of the most powerful female deities in Egypt. But you write, the woman represents the throne. The man is the protector of the throne. And the child sits on the throne, which is the mother's lap. So the mother is always the power. See, but what they did to us is they flipped the family structure and they put the man in front. That is out of divine order. Yes, the man should be in front, but everything didn't come from the man. And really it should be side by side. But the man is the enforcer. So when it comes to protection, when it comes to providing, when it comes to certain things, yes, the man should be in front. But a woman always needs to support her husband or her man. That's where it lines up. You know what I'm saying? That's where it lines up. If you have a bunch of treasure, right? Where are you gonna hide your treasure at? You gonna hide it in the light, or you gonna hide it in the darkness? People need to think about that. The dark. Remember, I said the darkness is the woman. She's the hidden knowledge. That's why in the 5% nation they call the woman the wisdom body, the wisdom body, the wizard. You see what I'm saying? And let me
the man. Because before you go on further, let's talk. I know you said something about the Bible, but the key in the Bible too, it says wisdom sheep. It even calls wisdom in Proverbs a sheep.
There you go.
But they'll tell you, you know what I'm saying? No.
Right. And that's because they don't study. I have no problem with a person's basis being the Bible, but at the end of the day, they have to understand, they have to be scientific and be real with themselves. You know,
Now,
be real with themselves.
My interpretation on the Bible is a little different because I know anyway, that it was taught to me that women gave us the knowledge and man provided the wisdom, being the one of the one to go out and be the adventurous one, came back with the wisdom to teach and build a foundation, whereas the woman provided the knowledge of it and then superseded what he was teaching through the wisdom to the children. That's what I had got from the Bible. So, but when I speak on the Bible, I ain't talking sex anyway. I ain't talking gender. I talk spiritual. So, I wouldn't even get into a debate or argument about what gender is what and who God is and is he a male or female. I wouldn't even hold those kind of conversations because those wouldn't really hold no weight to me anyway. But metaphorically speaking, I think you're on to a very good point about darkness being a woman. And then once we separate the evil connotations and go with it, it makes perfect sense because it's a whole lot more darkness than there is light. On every plane of existence, there's light there on every plane of existence. And
well, let's talk about this.
Darkness.
Okay, go ahead, finish. I'm sorry, brother.
Oh, no, I made my point. I'm just ad-libbing at this point. But go ahead.
Okay. Well, let's talk about this darkness thing for a second. Because what you said is so true. We got to separate that evil perspective from darkness because I'm going to tell everybody a secret, and some people know this and some people don't know this. The darkness is simply light that you cannot see. That's all darkness is. There is really no such thing as darkness. It is simply an ignorant state. The darkness is higher light. There's only one thing more faster than the speed of light. That's darkness. Because it is constantly present. It is the omnipresent. Darkness. Because remember, you can't have light without darkness. So behind all light is what? Darkness. Did you know that there's a man who found a black hole behind the sun? They kicked this joker out of the United States of America when he came out with that information. They did not want people to know that. And on a metaphysical level, the sun is a portal to the fifth dimension, a higher dimension. The sun really is a planet. I know that's hard for people to believe, oh, man, because people looking at it from a physical level. If you was in a spiritual state, you would not see the sun the way it is. Why do you think NASA is so secret? If we already know everything about space, or we know there's stars out there, we know the sun is out there, the moon's out there. Really? Is it really? We got to think about that. What are y'all hiding since we already know everything? They can't just be aliens. It's got to be deeper than that because y'all got to be hiding something. You know what I'm saying? And one thing people don't know is that there's a shield around the earth. Some people call it the quarantine. But on a physical level to help people understand, it's called the Van Allen belt. And everybody could research this. There is nobody on earth. Huh?
I thought you were talking about the ozone layer.
No, this is a little bit beyond the ozone layer. This is It's in space, but it's farther. It shields the earth. It's called. People can look this up. It's called the Van Allen belt. Do people know that nothing can go past the Van Allen belt? Absolutely nothing.
So we didn't get our ships out there to the moon?
See, that's the thing. They put the space station out there on the edge of the earth, right at the edge of space, because the Van Allen belt stretches a few miles beyond the Earth's surface. So, yeah, you can go in space, but there's a certain part of space that you can't go past. It's called the Van Allen belt, and it will burn you up. It will burn you up. You know what I'm saying? It's full of radiation. Nobody can go past it. So I'm one of them people that don't believe they went to the moon.
Wow.
I don't believe that. How can you get past the Van Allen belt? And it's something for people to think about. That's a certain reason why NASA keeps everything secret. And also, Delbert Blair, the great Dr. Delbert Blair, wrote this science. He said, how come when they go into space they can't find the sun? Something to think about. I ain't saying that nobody.
Now let's bring it back in because we talking about the family. So let's back in about the family.
Oh, indeed, this all goes into the family. All right. This all goes into the family, because space, we got to understand everything from an energetic level. We talking about the darkness, and darkness is actually higher light. That's all it is. It's light that you cannot see. That's all it is, light that you cannot see, and people need to understand that. The higher vibration light is the darkness. Whether people disagree with it or not.
How does that relate to the family?
Very, very simply. The mother is what I'm really telling people is there's a certain reason why the female is the power of the family. Because she's the higher vibration.
Okay. There we go.
Mm-hmm. Oh, all this is family. Even if I get into incubus and second, I'll bring it all to the family. This is all family. Mm-hmm. And the darkness, that's what that is. So a man needs to understand when a man ejaculates into a woman and he puts sperm into a woman, it's a scientific fact that sperm is liquid light. That's all it is. The vagina is a black hole. This is why I was talking about space. This is why I was talking about space. And that's what I'm going to go into next. Out in space, there's something called a black hole. As above, so below. And this is why I say the woman is the physical version of the creator. The black hole in space is the only thing in the universe that can suck light in. There's nothing that can harness light like that.
Wow.
That's what a sun. A sun is a man. S-U-N or S-O-N is light, fire. But a black hole can suck a sun in. Matter of fact, if it's a big enough black hole, it sucks in multiple stars, which is nothing but sperm. I hope I ain't going too far with people on this.
No,
I'm just trying to.
Good,
okay.
Because, because that's why I wanted you to expound. So what you're saying, people can understand how it correlates with the family. So at some point we have to get some expounding on it. That's all. Break it down.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I think that the energetic levels that I'm talking about is It's something that people really need to understand because, you know, people will tell like their son or tell a man, hey, you need this is what a man's supposed to do. But the child grows up thinking that, okay, I'm doing this because my father said it's the right thing to do without ever really having a deeper understanding about his role. You know, and this is something I think that we have to do more as African people or just people as a whole is expound on a scientific level. I love talking science because it is an energetic way of explaining things on a deeper level. Another word for science is magic. Back in the ancient days, they called it magic. We call it science today. You know, a man in the forest mixing some roots together is called a root man, a Satan worshiper, a evil man. But today we call them doctors. And they doing the same thing he did. So at the end of the day,
you could deal with that.
That's right.
Pharmaceutical.
That's right. The pharmaceutical. If anybody looks up the word pharmaceutical, it comes from a Greek word called pharmakia. And pharmakia means potions and magic.
Exactly.
Anybody can look this up. Pharmaceuticals come from the root word pharmakia.
And they have no problem with going to the doctor to use that magic.
Oh, yes, that's right.
You understand
that's
what
right.
I'm saying? You know, and so
that's
also
right.
like the uncler, you know, when they see the unk, they call that, you know, evil as well.
And without recognizing that is the true cross. Yes, sir. Without recognizing that is the true cross. That is a symbol of life, the unk. And black people won't wear it. You know, they scared of it. The unk is a symbol of life. Way before the cross existed. The cross is actually a symbol of death. Trust me, I know that. The cross is a symbol of death. You know what I'm saying?
That word over the cross where it says, I can't remember it exactly, but it says, by this sign we will conquer. Exactly.
And that's what Constantine said. Constantine used the cross. Constantine used that cross to conquer everything. And if you didn't believe in Christianity, he murdered you and your family. That's how Christianity became so big.
And created Sunday to be the worship day instead of Saturday.
Created Sunday. Exactly right. That's right. You know, got with them popes and made Sunday the day, and the true Sabbath day is Saturday. You know what I'm saying? So that's a whole. That's definitely, man. I ain't gonna get it now. I'll go way deep into that. You know what I'm saying?
Let's stay on topic, man. Let's stay on topic.
Right.
I want to get on the topic, but still on that space age stuff, man. That stuff that you was talking a minute ago. That was some real enlightening stuff that you were saying about the black holes sucking up stars.
Yes, sir.
The black hole brings it all down to a singularity. Then it spits it out on the other end and makes new galaxies like that.
There you go.
It almost makes you feel like, wow, that could be the creator creating, just like on our minuscule level of a person creating another person, but that's on the galactic level of our creator, if you want to say God, you know. So that is an amazing way of seeing that in a metaphorically speaking. But about this family thing, you know, you got a lot going on with these energies getting flip-flopped and the roles getting changed up. You can blame America where the women started wearing jeans. You can blame the men who want to be women. You can blame all that. But the bottom line, we still have to think about the roles and the energy and who has to play them. You know, so
right.
So am I wrong for saying, brother, you need to learn how to be a provider instead of learn how to be a playing a woman's role? Because, you know, I'll be looking at certain things, and just because of my condition, I'll be like, look at this dude braiding his daughter hair. But then I have to
right.
myself and be like, oh, ain't nothing wrong with that. But, you know, you always got that thing in the back of your head, like you do judge things by gender of responsibility. So, you know, are we living in a transitional world where we transcending and saying the man should play the woman's role? Because, you know, the woman now is wearing the jeans and have the better careers, and, you know, the man got to stay home and be the baby daddy. You know, is that a wrong or a right thing now?
That's a very, very good question. That's a very good question because, and this goes back into something else that most people need to know. Because that's one powerful thing about a woman. She could play both roles.
Yeah.
You know, like Brother Amari talked about his mom doing that. You know what I'm saying? Raising him up and doing the things, saying the things she said to him. You know, that's the powerful thing about a woman. She can play both roles, you know. So this is something that people really need to understand, and this is another fact. It's a certain reason why people, huh?
Well, you know, I just was gonna say, should the male try to be playing both roles like the woman?
If he don't have to, so you got some single fathers out there that's raising daughters, you know, God bless them, but they have to play that role. They can play it to the best of their ability. You know what I'm saying? If that's what they have to do, just like a woman, she plays the male role to the best of her ability.
Yeah, that's real. That's exactly it. Now, I don't want to go too far there in the world, because you do know we got men that play the whole role, turn themselves into a you feel me? I don't want to get that. You know,
oh man!
You don't keep it
monstrosity, brother. Monstrosity.
Oh, now you know what? You know what? So you basically talking about homosexuality and lesbianism, right?
Yeah.
Now,
is it a good thing, or is it an imbalance, or is? Because I'm thinking that it's kind of destroying our civilization, but you know, everybody seems to be happy with it. So I don't know.
Right. Well, I'll get to that. I'll definitely get to that, and that's a boy that gay thing is a touchy subject, boy, because I definitely got some views on it that people don't. I don't think people are ready for. But I did want to say about the female. The question you asked earlier: can a female play the male role? And for the stuff I'm getting ready to say, if people want more information on it, they can go look up a metaphysician named Dr. Delbert Blair. And he really broke the science on this stuff, man. And, oh, my God, and this is so true. So, but I'm going to also give a little bit of my perspective on it. So basically, one thing people have to understand and really pay attention to is why every old bone they find is always a woman. The oldest bones they find in America or anywhere in the world is always the bones of a woman. Or to the best of their ability, a bone structure that appears to be feminine. Well, there's a certain reason for that. You know what I'm saying? And what I'm getting ready to say is a lot of people won't agree with it, but like I said, go research Delbert Blair. He gives a deeper scientific, but I'm going to give y'all the basis on this. I'm going to go ahead and say it. The first people on this planet was females. But they were more what you call hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
They were hermaphrodites. There's a certain reason why people still birth hermaphrodites today. Hermaphrodites was something that really existed. Matter of fact, the first men that ever, or the first woman that ever existed on this earth was a hermaphrodite. They had male and female parts, and they're because the woman's genes are more dominant always. The structure of the entity was always more feminine. Even these 60-foot tall bones they find, can't nobody deny this. They find 60-foot tall people all over the world all the time. Even these 60-foot tall people they find, they saying these bones is mostly feminine. So this is something that people really need to understand. So when the earth was in a higher vibration millions of years ago, there were mostly hermaphrodites and female-looking entities on this planet. What happened was eventually those entities, dealing with some extraterrestrial stuff, ended up birthing males. A man is nothing but a reflection of a female. Matter of fact, a male is nothing but a woman with a penis. I know that's hard to understand, but like I said, go look at Delbert Blair. He's going to break it down on a deeper level. Now, people say, how in the world could you say that? Well, it's a scientific fact that when a baby's a certain amount of months in the womb, all babies are females. All babies are females to a certain extent. And when a certain hormone takes over, that child becomes a male. If you look at the chromosomes of an XX, which is a woman, the XY is a man. Well, what in the world is a Y except an X that's missing a leg? It's missing a part of itself. So a man is a degenerate woman with a high level of testosterone to be the enforcer. When a woman wants to look at herself being strong, she looks at her man. A man shouldn't have to worry about being beautiful or handsome because he looks at his woman for beauty. And they reflect each other. And depending on how they feel, if the moon cycle is right, they either give birth to another level of darkness, which is a female, or they give another birth to a son. But if you look in space, there's more darkness than light. And matter of fact, on this earth, there's what? More females than men. So I just want to really break that down from that level and really help people understand on a scientific level, first of all, what this whole family thing is about, because I think that's something that we don't go into enough. I think more black people need to get more into science and get a deeper perspective on what it is, you know? So when you're talking to a person,
I agree on that, because in chemistry, man, you know, they had a very good, you know, hold of that.
Yes, they did.
And that's the reason why a lot of our people, you know, focus on chemistry. You know what I'm saying? Like you said before, they looked at life so precious. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
You know, the woman, they understood, you know what I'm saying, that the woman is the one that helps to mold and shape a family. That's just the bottom line. That's why you see more mothers, even if you look at single parents. You see more mothers even that are single parents than the man. Who was the main one that abandons the family? Now, we understand the psychological, you know, a situation that occurred because, you know, again, of colonialism, the separation of the family, the demasculation of a man. You know what I'm saying? How a lot of our men take off and they run and they leave the mother there. You know what I'm saying? To raise the children. You know, the mother is majority of the time, predominantly the time, the one that is the one that's holding the family down.
Indeed.
You know what I'm saying?
And that's how powerful she is.
Women are stronger. Women, exactly, man. Women, maybe they may be more emotional than us, but women are more stronger, man. Women are the ones that really endure. You know what I'm saying? How many men could birth a baby?
That's a good point.
You understand what I'm saying?
We ain't trying to do that.
So how many women, look at how much a woman goes through with her body. You know what I'm saying? The strength of a woman, man, is admirable.
Right.
You know, and how many, and you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying this on this level too. How many gangsters fold up for a woman? Huh?
That's right.
Think about it.
That's right.
Think about it. Even in the big, they love the women. When it coming through, they're crazy. You know what I'm saying? But with women, why is it that she can calm the savage beast?
That's so true.
Most people I know who stopped doing what they was doing, and even Brother Polite said it. His wife. You know
That's
what I'm
right.
saying? His wife. Women have that inner strength, man. That spiritual, you know, inner strength, man. Because think about it, women are even more sensitive, like even seers. Women are even more sensitive. Just like it's a reason why a lot of women spiritually are chosen to pray. Their energy, man, like you said earlier, the birthing. Women birth. Women cultivate. Women raise, man.
That's right. That's so true, you know. That's so true. And this is why I tell people, you know, that, you know, a man is knowledge. Because a man, you know, a man takes on knowledge and he gives it to his woman, and she takes that knowledge, she passes on to the child. Why? Because the woman is the first teacher of the child. This is a fact. You know, I've seen this in my own eyes being a father for the first time, how my wife teach my daughters how to count. A baby's brain is designed to listen to the mother first. They know the mother is the nurturer. They know this in their cells. Nobody teaches a baby that it needs to suck a breast to live. The baby just knows it. You know what I'm saying? So it knows the nurturing effects of the mother. The baby knows that. The father comes in, and there's a lot of Jewish people that follow this tradition, and they follow a lot of structures of things I'm talking about. But the father comes in at a certain time, and it gives the child, like, let's just say a year, 12 years old. The child gets ready to take on an identity, right? The child starts to notice itself. You know, you go through puberty around 13, 14. Shoot, some of these kids today, they go through puberty earlier than that. You know, these kids is girls having their periods at 8 years old now, you know. Boys, I go to high school, I see boys with full-grown beards. I'm like, oh, my God, what in the world is going on here? So that's changing now, but for the sake, but if you look at it, a child usually gets in the puberty around 13 years old, and they're going through that stage because they're starting to be self-conscious about themselves. They smelling themselves now. They noticing new things about themselves. At that time, the father steps in and gives the child an identity and tells the child, look, I have the knowledge, this is who you are, and this is where we need you to take the family, whether it's a girl or a boy. But the first teacher of the child is the mother. So that's why I did a video a while ago and said, if you raise a woman, you raise a nation. Because the woman is the first teacher of the child. She has a psychological effect on the child at a young age, and she is the one that the child never forgets. You never forget what happened to you when you was a child. The mother has a big impression on the child when they're young. The father's job is to set the identity up for the family.
Definitely. I agree with that, man. My mother taught me how to read. My mother taught me how to write, man. You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Why I could never, degrade a woman, man. My mother taught me all those things, man.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
That's why it's so easy for a woman to brainwash a man.
You going somewhere else with that, King?
So we're gonna leave him out there in the cold with that one, huh? So I don't want to fight nobody. I want to fight. No, that's deep though. Because let me bring this up real quick. That's pretty deep because if you look at the movie Troy, right? There's a whole war that men done died and got killed, got their heads cut off. All kind of crazy stuff happened over what? A woman. Yeah. These jokers went to war over one woman. You know what I'm saying? So women have that power. It goes to show you the power of a woman. You got men today that fight over women.
Let me say something real quick. Isn't that
yes, sir.
A lot of our American male problems? We do deal with the fact that the woman had that power, and we don't even be knowing we're getting manipulated. Prime example. Let's use a biblical term. Delilah. We put that out there, and a lot of men, the reason for them saying be and ho and whatever, because of they have been manipulated like that in that light, and they ain't even understand. Women don't even understand that they're using those powers. So yeah, to a degree,
yeah.
A lot of problems in the family like that as well. Because women. And I don't even want to talk about the seductive aspect. I'm just talking about the. Just the strength and the power of a woman. Basically,
they should break a man down, brother.
It's the same reason why.
Man, she will break a man down. These are gangsters, brother. We've seen gangsters lay down their guns. Let's just be honest, man. We've seen gangsters lay down guns over a good woman.
That's right. That's so true. That's so true. And that's the powerful thing about it.
Too. Some people try to say that too, but the spiritual aspect about it too as well. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a Christian, you know what I'm saying, but I'm just saying, when it comes to submissiveness, you know what I'm saying, and openness to the spiritual realm, See, and that's the thing about women, because they could be manipulated too, because a lot of men got that gift of gab. It's a certain things about a woman, a man that attracts a woman. There's certain things about a woman that attracts a man. You see what I'm saying? So, women love a man with confidence. Women love a man with confidence. Confidence is actually what attracts a woman. Matter of fact, most women will tell you is mostly body language. A lot of women I tell you out there who's married to men today, they'll say, when I first met him, I didn't even like him. I wasn't even attracted to him. But there's something about him that a woman can be attracted to a man in different ways. A man, we're more physical. We're looking at the logical aspect of it. Oh, she got a nice this, a nice that, and that's the first thing that get us. But a man could simply just walk down the street a certain way and will get a woman's attention. Oh, girl, he got to walk on him. And we be confused, like, right.
Yeah.
So this is what a man don't understand, right? This is what a man don't understand. This is what a man don't understand, right? And I could tell, boy, I could really break some science down to y'all on this, but I'm only gonna go so deep. But
that's the beautiful thing about it. That's the beautiful thing about it. That's the beautiful thing about the energy, and that's what nature is. Nature needs both of those to coexist, and for us to be able to look at each other. I'm talking about male looking female, anyway. And that's what nature is. That's what the procreation is that energy, just like that. So we
right, and that's what a man don't understand. Go ahead, brother.
Oh, real fast. We do have new situations, not new as in new to the world, but new to me. Monogamy and polygamy. You feel me? Those are family structures where you know, it's just something new to me, man. And
Right.
again, what is the right way? Can we even put right and wrong in this whole energy thing of how we're supposed to relate and make this family work? Can we put a right and wrong on structure?
Well, you know, it's funny you say that. I tell everybody if they want to know how things should be naturally, look at nature.
Exactly.
The animals and nature teach you everything that you need to do. That's why the shamans are so powerful. But I did want to say this too. This is a certain reason why a man don't understand why a woman is attracted to a man's walk. It's the confidence he got when he's walking. You got some men that may walk dorky, and you got some men that walk with confidence. A woman say, "Oh, something about the way he walk." You know, we be confused like, "What? His walk." It's his confidence, that energy, and you don't know. Every time you have confidence, you actually give off electricity. So you know, I had a female friend of mine a long time ago. She liked this guy, but she said, "I can't get his attention." I said, "Look," I said, "Look, when you're in front of him, rub your neck or rub your kneecap, because what you're doing is a woman is magnetic. Her whole energy is magnetic. If you take a magnet and put dust around it, you'll see a magnetic field. It got curves on it. A magnetic field is curvy. Electricity is boxy. It's a straight shape. Men are more straight, box shape typed, and women are more curved. That's why men like cars. Cars got curves on them. See, it's a psychological thing that men don't know. And if he want to attract a woman, look her dead in the eye when you're talking to her. Let her know that you got confidence. Right. So let her know you confident in yourself. That's what a woman likes.
It was them curves, right?
Hey, it was curves for all of us, man. You know, for all of us, it was like that. You know, it's the curves. You know, the magnetic energy on a deeper level that's attracting you to a woman. She's pulling you. You think you got game, you pulling her. No, bro, she pulled you. She actually pulled you. Matter of fact, if you look in nature, for prime example, take a grizzly bear, right? You have 100 grizzly bears fighting over one female. You know what I'm saying? They kill each other. You got grizzly bears licking off. You know, grizzly bears getting killed over a woman, over a female. This is the power they got. But they have to be careful because that if they get too confident in that energy and not really, if they're not confident enough in themselves, they can be manipulated by a man's words. His electricity coming out of his mouth, those confident things he's saying. A woman has to be very careful with that because a lot of women fall prey to a man's words. You know, like Biggie Smalls, he'll say hot dogs ever, black and ugly as ever. However, I say coochie down to my socks. And Biggie Smalls, everybody know he was not an attractive man. You know what I'm saying? So he used to get all the women. You know, and you ask Faith Evans said, what attracted you to Biggie? She said, his confidence. Yeah, you know, he was like a big papa. His personality. There you go. So
you know, that's exactly what my wife had told me. She writes a note. She said it shows a man's spirit. You know, like we talking about the way a man carries himself, stuff like that. It's his spirit, like you said. That's what magnetizes a woman. You know, is that man.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Because
that's right.
We're gonna like yourself, you and I. You know, we hold our family down. You know what I'm saying? Our wives know that they can depend on us.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
My son's mother know that I'm not only just going to give money to my son. You know what I'm saying? I'm there for my son emotionally as well. You know, and I think that's another problem. We talking about the family structure. So, you know, matter of fact, let's even deal with this one point, and I'm going to go back to what I said. You know, how they say gangsters don't dance. This is a little, you know, humor in it. You know what I'm saying? Now you got the African Zulu tribe, the warriors. They dance.
Right.
You see what I mean?
That's right.
So just to see how far away. That's just something to see. Also, how far away we've gotten away from, you know, our actual African roots, just on these simple little things. Just these simple things. Now you got a brother standing in the corner. Oh, I don't dance. I'm gangster. I'm a warrior. Warriors dance, brother. What are you talking about?
Right,
you know what I'm saying? That's what we do. You know what I'm saying? But it's this mindset, man, that, you know, what Jesus upholds down. You know what I'm saying? A man has a problem with expressing himself. You know what I'm saying? I think that it's the programming of the mind. You know what I'm saying? Because of what they see on television, man. You know what I'm saying? I have to deal with this because the truth is, who is really raising our child and our children? Most of our children rather are being raised by the television. You know, what they're seeing. Their mind is being programmed by these things, how they should dress, you know what I'm saying, how they should talk, you know what I'm saying, how they should act. All these behaviors and everything are being programmed, you know what I'm saying? So you have these men, oh, she won't get a nickel out of me because I'm a PIMP, so, oh, man, I don't do that. I don't open up a door for a woman, you know what I'm saying? Or they'll say, ho, you know what I'm saying, rather. Or I'm not doing so. We have to really deal with what we're seeing, and so we have to deal with that system.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's systemic programming, you know, by way of colonialism that we're actually dealing with that's robbing our men out of actually raising up their communities, being that tribal chief, if you will, taking care of the community, taking care of, you know, his responsibilities. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Being that warrior and tending to his family, because I don't want to get away from this, man. Everything else is all fun. We joke, but we have to get down to the root of the problem, man. You know what I'm saying? And the root of the problem is the mindset. You know what I'm saying? And it's poor parenting, and poor parenting from what? You know what I'm saying? From slavery. That's just the bottom line. Our families were separated. The men were taken as breeders to different plantations. You know what I'm saying? They didn't have a stable family home. So a lot of us subconsciously, like we talked about, generational curse. Now it's passed around. What? Papa was a rolling stone. Everywhere he laid his hat was his home, right? But, you know what I'm saying, a lot of us don't pay attention to the realization that they were rolling stones, but it was by default. You know what I'm saying? It was taken away from their families. You see what I'm saying? So this is still happening subconsciously. We don't even recognize that slavery is still affecting us even to this day.
Right. And I wanted to say something else on that. You brought up a good point. And yes, the male and female structure is the best way for the family. But the question is, another question is, what happens when a child lacks a mother in a home? There are some single fathers out there. What happens when a child lacks a father in a home? And there are a lot of single mothers out there. Well, this is a very important to understand, because what tends to happen is, yes, a woman can raise a young boy up to be a certain man to a certain level, but this is what happens, right? The child eventually develops a level of trauma. You know what I'm saying? And this is something I had to be real with myself about, for my father not always being there. I grew up in a household. My father was in prison a lot, and I was confused as a little boy. I didn't understand why he was always gone. He was in prison a lot. That has a psychological effect on a young child, girl or boy. You know, a lot of girls who don't tend to have their father in their life, they ended up being loose and being a certain way growing up because they didn't have that discipline. The father gives that strict discipline. You know what I'm saying? That fire, put the fire under you, boy, and get you right. That's what the father does. So when a man has a lack of a father in his life, every man whose father wasn't there to a degree has some level of trauma. Now, it could be manifested as he may have an anger problem when he grows up. It may be manifested as he has a certain issue with his ego. He may be mad at when a man stands up too high above him. He may have an issue with and for a man who was raised by his father and wasn't raised by his mother, he could have an issue of hating women. Or he could have an issue of thinking a woman needs to be under him, or being angry at women because his mother wasn't there. There's always, and he may not understand this growing up. And his mother could have did a good job of raising him, or his father could have did a good job of raising him. And this goes for women too. Women have a certain level of trauma without one parent being there. And this is the constant thing going on in the black family and in the black community. There's levels of trauma that people have. Yes, we can grow up to be millionaires and have children of our own, but we have to be real with ourselves and understand that because dad wasn't there, because mom wasn't there, it affected me in a certain way. I know I got an issue with something. Everybody else may not know it. I may know it though. I could have, like I said, I could have an anger problem. I could have different things, but we don't understand where that stems from. It stems from as a child. There's a certain level of energy that never got into your life. And it was supposed to affect you, but it never did. Maybe you wanted love from your father. You know, you never got it. Maybe you wanted love from your mama, and you never got it. It has a traumatic effect on you. But depending on how you look at it, it's a good and a bad thing. It could be good because trauma is a level of initiation. It can get you to a new level. New level, new devil. You know what I'm saying? It all depends on how you look at it. Like I tell people, there are no bad days. Everything is a blessing or a lesson.
That's right.
It depends on how you look at it.
If I may say this too, man, I think that we have to get back to the educational piece because, you know, the truth of the matter is, man, we learn, as we all know, by actually verbal teaching and by, you know, body language. So we all learn by what we hear and what we see. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these things that we're dealing with in the family structure is, you know, unfortunately not being educated because we've been stripped of our heritage. You know what I'm saying? We've been stripped of, you know what I'm saying, the rich family, you know, culture, you know, that we all came from the motherland. I have to deal with it because that's not our culture. That's not our nature. The way Americanization families are established is not our culture.
Right.
That's not the nature. That's not the nature of a true African family. That's just not. You know what I'm saying? And we've been damaged, you know what I'm saying, terribly by this, man. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I believe it's so important to get to what we're talking about, our spirituality, to get back to our heritage, to get back to our roots. You know what I'm saying? To find where we were birthed from, you know what I'm saying, from the motherland, from our spirituality. This is what helped to construct, you know what I'm saying, the African family. You know what I'm saying? We got to stop leaving our child and our children, you know what I'm saying, and turning them over to European systems. Well, what I propose to help, you know, to eliminate this problem is, you know, if possible, because I understand financially I got it, but if possible, you know, homeschooling. You know what I'm saying? Educating our children about what we're talking about right now. Like you, cousin. You know, you raise your daughter, you know, altar work. You know what I'm saying? She's exposed to these things. So let's talk about that. Let's talk about why do you do that? Why do you raise, you know what I'm saying, the little one, you know, in the African fashion? What is the reasoning behind why you're doing it? I want to expound on that.
Yes. Okay, I'm glad you brought that up. That's a very good question. Okay, well, for those who don't know, I do practice African spirituality. I'm not a Christian. I'm not a Muslim. I don't believe in religion. I don't believe religion is spiritual. That's just my opinion. People could disagree with that. Religion means to rebind the man. Legion means to bind. Rebind the man. Keep you in a box. Spirituality is supposed to elevate you, and that's the difference. So now my daughter, for those who don't know, my daughter's only 2 years old, so I'm doing a lot of things to her psychologically right now that is programming her mind, you know, to accept the things that me and her mother tell her. Okay? Now, one thing that I'm doing is, in her bedroom and in my house, I have a lot of bright colors. Anybody who's in our house knows this. I have a big picture of deities all around my house, altars and different things. She grows up looking at this stuff. And it's a scientific fact. The more bright colors you put around a child, the more intelligent they become. You know, because they tend to stare off at bright colors. And when you go outside, you see that blue sky and those green trees, it elevates, it makes you feel better. So, to a degree, that's what I do. And also, when I do my altar work, I do practice a lot of the African spiritual cultures. I personally take my daughter, ever since she was newly born, and I pray to the deities with my daughter. I take her in front of me. Sometimes she grabs stuff on the altar. I want her to have I want to affect her psychologically. So she'll always remember, this is all I know. This is what I grew up doing. And when somebody tells her, oh, those things are evil, you shouldn't do it, she said, well, I've been doing this since I was a baby. Nothing bad has happened to me, you know, and nothing bad has happened to my daughter at all. So these are the things that now her grandmother is a Christian, and because my daughter's young, yes, I do let her go with her grandmother sometimes to church because she doesn't have a big understanding. But when she turns about 3 years old, I'm going to stop that because it's training time at that point. And I recommend every parent out there to get a book called The Trivium. Everybody that's a parent, you have children, I recommend getting a book called The Trivium. The Trivium, and they have another book called The Quadrivium. The Quadrivium has 4 liberal arts. The Trivium has 3 liberal arts. The liberal arts are the true education. We don't learn liberal arts like that in school today. This is what the rich teach their children. There's a certain reason why rich people children are homeschooled. They're learning the liberal arts, the real liberal arts. Dr. Benny Oxenden said that he wanted to learn, the reason why he kept going back to school and getting different degrees because he wanted to learn the liberal arts, which is the true education. The word education comes from the Greek word educate, which means to take out of or to draw out of. So when I look at my daughter, I look at her gifts, and I draw those things out of her. I don't want her to be just like me, but I want her to find herself in the foundation that I set up for her. Because one thing's a fact, I was raised in Christianity. To a degree, a part of me is in that is basically in that foundation. And what I mean by that is I still pray over my food. I may not pray to a Christian God, but I still pray over my food. I still pray every night before I go to bed. You see what I'm saying? These are things I learned as a Christian growing up in my Christian household. So a lot of those characteristics I still pass on. The question is why? Because my mother had a psychological effect on me as a child. I was put into that. Mm-hmm. So it's a scripture in the Bible that says you raise a child up in the way they should go, they will not depart. So they talking about having a psychological impression on your child from a young age. And if you get the book called The Trivium, it teaches you how to teach your child how to think for themselves, how to speak for themselves. You see what I'm saying? How to speak their own truth. And the Trivium deals with logic, grammar, and rhetoric. Some people think rhetoric is just a bunch of talking. No, rhetoric is learning how to speak your own truth in your way. And you teach your child how to be intelligent like that. And they teach you in the Trivium that if you teach the children these three liberal arts, they can learn anything. And then you go on to the Quadrivium, which deals with art, geometry, not mathematics, geometry, which is kind of like mathematics, but it's not, music, and it goes on to other things. So I take my daughter in front of...
Excuse me, real quick. Yourself,
yep.
Is that word spelled with a V? T-R-I-V-I-U-M? T-R-I-V-U-M, I believe it's spelled.
Okay.
T-R-I-V-I-U-M.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I believe it's spelled like that. And it's called the Trivium. And I think every parent should. And what I'm doing is I'm putting small things into my daughter so she will learn how to be. Basically, I'm making her smarter in so many words. But I'm teaching her how to believe in herself, speak for herself, and speak her own truth as she grows up. She learns to question things. You know, when we was kids, everybody, mama say, "Boy, don't shut your mouth, don't question me." I want my daughter to question things so she can get a deeper understanding. You see what I'm saying? A deeper understanding. Mm-hmm. So yes, in so many words, I do deal with altars in my house and magic, and a lot of things I do, I let my daughter watch me. I make her watch me in so many words, you know what I'm saying? Just like the jury I make. When she gets a certain age, she'll be watching me do that, and she'll learn how to do that. You know? And I wasn't going to say this for a long time, but I'll go ahead and tell people this right now. Not only do I teach my daughter these things, and I'm spiritual, but I also have my own tribe. It's called the Kiowa Cherokee Nation, and I am a chief of this tribe. I do have my own, and I'm not just saying this to make myself feel good. I have actual documents that I had to send off to the government and get things set up and do all that stuff. So it was a little bit of a fight, but I got it done. I am a real certified chief of my own tribe, and kind of makes my daughter a princess to a degree. And
absolutely,
this is also, so I consider myself indigenous. And indigenous could be African or whatever you want to call it, because the first people in America were Africans. So I am indigenous, and I teach my daughter about her indigenous heritage. You know what I'm saying? And I want to pass everything I do on to her. I want to leave a legacy, because if you raise a woman, you raise a nation. You know what I'm saying? Because a woman is the first teacher of the child. That's why I say that. A man can choose to go whatever family he wants to. You don't have to pass his information on, only through his seed. But a woman will always teach her children. And like we said before, she will always stay with her children. In so many words.
I totally agree with you with that. I totally do. And I think that men also should, you know, be an example like you did for your daughter. You're teaching her, you're being involved in her life, you're influencing her in a positive manner. And I believe as men, we have to take our role, man. We have to take back, you know what I'm saying, our position, you know what I'm saying, because we want women to honor us, man. But a lot of our men are not doing what they need to be doing.
Indeed. Right.
You know what I'm saying? You know, they're not taking, you know, the role. And this is the reason why I wanted to do this program, because I believe a lot of brothers have to be challenged. You know what I'm saying? Because we think that because we have a penis and a scrotum and we got a whole bunch of women and money and cars that we the man. You know what I'm saying? You're not the man if you're not handling your responsibilities.
Right. And then so I want to say this too real quick, Amari, if you don't mind.
Go ahead.
I think some men are doing some things, but they're not doing enough. And no disrespect towards these men, but if you're not leaving a foundation, you don't have to be like me and do a whole tribe and all this stuff. You could simply give your children right knowledge about who they are.
That's right,
and you're doing
That's right.
You're doing enough. You know, you're doing enough. You know, I got a lot I want to teach my daughter that I'll probably never tell to nobody else in this world. A lot of hidden knowledge. But like I said, a person don't gotta be like me. If you're studying, you're leaving a legacy for your children and giving them the right knowledge and also giving them a foundation to stand on. There's a lot of children out there, you ask them, well, what you believe in, they don't even know. I'm talking about 14, 15-year-old kids. But what do your family do? Oh, we go to church. And you find out that the grandma and the mama are not even really Christians. They just go every now and then. So this child grows up with no identity. So what's the next best thing? A game. I'm going to get in this game. They got an identity for me. You know? I'm going to get into this type of lifestyle right here. That's an identity.
Yeah.
And that doesn't give them an identity. It gives them a label. So, yeah.
Brother Dave, you got something you want to say, King? We getting ready to wrap it up here.
Wow, y'all have so many powerful points. I don't know that I can even come on a level. But
we're so humble. We're humble, good man. We're humble.
Well, let me put this little trinket in there just as we end the show. If the people didn't know, XX is a female chromosome and XY is the male chromosome. I encourage y'all to figure out a way to tap into your chromosomes and have the research done to find your heritage so that when you think on your lineage of your people, you can walk around America and scan America and see the things that the people of your ancient world, the things that you research and find with them, you in the world that you're living in here in America, and you may find that. You may run into people and you may see people that look just like you. May find an identical twin out there. So, go ahead and do the research. And like me, I did the research and found out that I have some Fulani and Yoruba tribes out of Nigeria, and I have some Seminole Indian in me. So now I'm looking at all kind of stuff. And Amara, you remember I was talking to you about that at the African American Research Library at their display, their exhibit. So, I encourage people to go ahead and have that research done. I'm skeptical of it myself because, we're dealing with a lot of white people databases when we have the research done. But, step out and encourage, man, and have that research done so you can find what side of your DNA and how you can advance yourself out here in this world. That's just my take on it. That you can learn. That's a good way to learn your family.
I concur. My cousin, he did it. Sis, you did it, and then I'm actually getting ready to do it. My wife is actually, all praise be to the Creator for, my queen. She's doing it for my birthday, man. And when I find out, I'm going to pass that information down to my son. Like right now, we know, Yosef know that in our family we have Cherokee in our family. Everybody knows that. Yosef and I were cousins. You know what I'm saying? And I do know that I'm from Africa because our grandmother, Yosef's grandmother, had told me that our great-great-grandfather was straight from Africa. But we just don't know what tribe.
Oh, man, just
we don't know what tribe yet. So it's real talk, man. Like our great-great-grandmother, she was straight Cherokee, man, straight on the reservation, Cherokee. You know what I'm saying? And so our great-grandfather, he was a slave. He became free, and he ended up meeting our great-great-grandmother, you know what I'm saying? And again, he was straight from Africa. So I believe that it's important because, it helps you to get in touch with your heritage, which we all know is the nucleus of your heritage is your culture, man, your way of life. You know what I'm saying? Even down to the food, man. Even down to your garments, the way you dress, man. And I believe we have to break this shame of being an African that has been disseminated to us by way of colonialism, man. And I have to say this because a lot of us are not proud of being African because of, the visual, consciously, that's been put on our people, man. You know, we have to teach our children that we have something to be proud of, man.
That's right.
We really do. We really
That's
do.
right. And
no, go ahead, cousin. You got it.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, and you know, somebody playing a flute or something? It sounds like a flute. I hear a flute in the background, but okay. That could be the spirits. Who knows? I don't know. But yeah, I found out that majority of my blood, the majority of it was from Ghana. You know, so with such a high level of my blood percentage from Ghana, and I looked at their spiritual practice, and one of them is voodoo. Why in the world would not do it? If there's people who are successful, and they and you know, you have multiple millionaires in Ghana that actually deal with this science. You know, why in the world wouldn't I deal with a spiritual system that connects to my bloodline? I think that the guys will work better on my behalf, and they have. You know, they have. You know, so I did it really.
Whitewashed, man. It's been whitewashed.
Exactly.
I know you asked why, but that's the reason why, man. I'm glad you said that, because so many of us have been taught to run away from it. You know, and man, I just briefly, if you would, because, you know what I'm saying, like the left-hand path and the right-hand path, briefly, and then we're going to open up for some question and answers to those who still on the line if they would like to ask some, you know, briefly. But, you know, dealing with that, like, you know, being taught that, you know, it's
That's a good question. That's a good question. Because I'm going to break this down from a spiritual, magical, metaphysical level, and this is just the truth, whether people accept it or not. If you don't accept it, then it's too bad for you. God bless you. But at the end of the day, this is what it is.
Family, man. It's part of the family.
Right. And the left-hand path is simply energy. Like, left-hand path is something they call Satanism, right? That's a famous word. People say, oh, he's a Satanist. They don't know no other word, but it's a lot of left-hand path energies out there. I'm not even going to name them on here. But one thing that's for certain is the left-hand path is something that goes against creation. It goes against life itself. If you know somebody that's dealing with something that goes against creation, you are dealing with a left-hand path energy, a left-hand path system. It is destructive. It goes against voodoo is not left-hand path. It does not deal with destruction. It does not deal, not even voodoo, Yoruba, Ifa, Obia, all these different African spiritual systems do not go against nature. They use nature, matter of fact.
Yes.
You can't get the magic done without nature. You need nature, the life force of nature, to do the things, the spiritual things. And like I brought up before, in the Bible, you got Abraham and different other people cutting the throats of lambs and spreading the lamb's blood on the altar and on the wall and to stop the angel. This is voodoo. You know what I'm saying? So Christians will be scared of their own self, but they won't be scared of what's in the Bible. And if they know good and well, if God told them to do that, they wouldn't do it. They'd be scared. So I just wanted to say that. You know what I'm saying? This is who you are. Stop being afraid of yourself. Stop being afraid. Please stop being afraid of yourself, because you can't get away from who you are. If your blood is 25 or 45% Nigerian, you need to deal with Nigerian stuff and stop being afraid of yourself. Because there's a great, and I'll say this last thing, there's a great prophecy in Egypt that said, Osiris said, out of the west I will call my children. This is in the pyramid text in Egypt. Out of the west I will call my children. Even though their bodies will look Egyptian, their mind will be of another race. Who in the world is they talking about? It's only one group of people in the world that don't know who they are. African Americans.
Americans, yeah, African Americans.
We don't know who in the world we are. And when we find out, we won't accept it. So that's all I got to say. We can open them phone lines if people want to ask questions or not.
All right, so callers, if you're out there, you're still hanging on, you can push *6, and you're more than welcome to make a statement. You know, you can let us know who you are and where you're calling from, and, you know, you can make your statement or ask your question. *6. Okay, can you hear me? Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Sure can, brother. I say, King.
Yes, this is Nuru. I was listening to the show, and I want to.
You sound a little far away, brother.
Oh, okay, hold on.
Yeah, I'm gonna put my 10 cents in.
All right, there we go.
All right, I listened to y'all show. Y'all had some great points, and y'all talked about the family dynamic. And the one thing that came to mind when I was listening is that in order for us to raise our children in the proper capacity, you have to know about the child. I'm speaking on the natal chart, the zodiac, destiny path, And Yusef knows exactly what I'm talking about, because if you grew up without a father, then you're not going to know how to raise your seed. You're not going to know what to tell them. I heard you guys saying a lot about education and the things. This is what the European has left for us, to bring us into his material world. So I heard you say something else about gangsters don't dance, but it really goes, gangsters don't dance, they boogie. So gangsters still dance anyway, but that's a whole nother subject. Gangsters don't dance, they boogie. Now, like I said, the show is phenomenal, but the one thing I think that's important and that I had to learn is what to do for my child. I got a 3-month-old, and I take her in front of the altars. But thanks to Brother Yusef, he put me on to the natal chart. He put me on to her destiny numbers. So if I know the things and the ailments is going to plague her, I can be ahead of the curve. Because you don't give, because we don't have a lot of solutions in our community. We're not supposed to go to the doctors. You're supposed to go to grandma. Grandma's supposed to put them herbs together.
Yes, sir.
Go ahead.
But we've gotten so far away because now that's why they want to give your baby the vaccination at birth. That's why they want you to bring your baby to the doctor. Dr. Delbert Blair said it. He said, we're taking our gods to the state, and they're fighting over our having possession over our gods and our goddesses. He said it's a melanin war, and it makes sense. I mean, everything is designed to destroy us because they live in our birthrights. And we do know in due time this thing got to flip around. And this is the time now. So us having this forum, people falling away from Christianity, people, I mean, people don't know. That 666 in the Bible is talking about us. We the Antichrist. 6 electrons, 6 protons, 6 neutrons. That's that melanin in you. You are the Antichrist. So now, at the end of the day, it's like when you come out of Christianity, now what? My entire family is Christianity. So guess what? I worship the devil because I get busy with this. I get busy with this. Hold on. Let me say it. But I'm going to say this. And then,
I love it.
I'm going to say this. And this for the people listening. Y'all got to understand. When you decide to come to this spirituality, you are walking away from your old life, and you're starting all over. You're going to change the way you eat, the way you think. You're going to lose friends. You're going to lose family members. But guess what? If you're in your destiny, it don't matter because this whole thing is an illusion. Now, we ain't going to go deep into the illusion because Yusef can give you a load on that. But
no, you can too.
But the whole point of this is what I'm saying is, when you walk away and you come to spirituality, it's going to be a falling away. You're going to have your moment in the cave, or you know how Moses went on the mountain to talk to God. When you come to spirituality, you're going to have to cut everything off. I don't have no television. I don't eat no meat. And I know you agree with this because you know that melanin ain't black. It's dark green, and it's like photosynthesis for us to ingest that light. But when you eat them animals, it's blocking out. People can still feel what they feel. I got to give this disclaimer. But
talk about it.
That's where we get the cholesterol from. When you eat these animals, first of all, they're leaving the cholesterol in your arteries. The number one killer is congestive heart failure. Why? Because your veins just keep clogging up. Now, why is that happening? Because we fed the slave food. They got the nerve to call it soul food, chitlins, black-eyed peas, collard greens. You cook the collard greens for 3 hours. The nutrients is in the water. The nutrients ain't even in the collards no more. So you better off just drinking the juice and throwing the collards in the garbage because all the vitamin K and D is in the water. So it's a frontal attack. It's a frontal attack on us from all aspects. From your diet, because if they break the body down, the mind's gonna come too. So now we're gonna legalize marijuana. You can drink what you want. We got opiates. We got Xanax. These kids doing lean. Why? Because they already know that it's the second coming of the gods, and we waking up, and they trying to prolong this thing as long as they possibly can. So I'm gonna tell you the truth. If there's 6 people on this line, if there's 5 people on this line, if there's 7 people, that is a great amount of change because it's a remnant of us that get this. This ain't for everybody. This is for the ones who's ready to walk away from that old life and say, hey, I understand that I'm a God, but I'm not the God. I am an aspect of God because I could create my own reality. I understand that my seed.
Hey, man, we got to have this real on more, man.
Yeah, that's my bro. That's my bro. Hey, that's my bro, Nuru. We'll get on here and tear this thing down if you let us now.
Hey,
don't play with us.
Now I'm gonna say this and then I'm done. Your seed is your lineage. We're here to change generations. Listen, forget about the 400 years of slavery. It ain't never stopped. We still in slavery now, like what you said. But what has to happen is we have to take back. Your child ain't a child. You ain't a parent. Not a parent, a parent. That's civics. That's another show. But at the end of the day, they have us in contracts, and we are giving our children away to the state, wards of the state. That's what that birth certificate is. So they're transgressing universal law. You were born as a man or a woman, and then they put those feet print and make a contract and turn you into a corporate fiction. Don't
give it too much, brother. Don't give it.
All right, that's it, though. That's it.
Hey, brother,
thank you, brother.
Man, we appreciate you for calling in, and I see my cousin. He raising some warriors up there in New York, baby. You know what I'm saying? He raising some warriors up there, man.
Yeah, Nuru AZ now.
We appreciate you, man. We appreciate you, Brother Guru, for your input, man. Very enlightening, on point. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely appreciate you for calling in, man. Thank you for your support. You know what I'm saying? Much love to you, King. Appreciate you. Brother David Miller, Black Sheep, brother, we appreciate you coming on the show, man. Thank you so much for, your input and your feedback, man. Definitely, man. All you brothers and sisters that's out there listening, man, we appreciate you for coming on the School of Thought. As you all know, every Sunday, for those who are listening, at 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, we're on. We posted on our page. Matter of fact, let me give you the telephone number. It is conference line 218-339-6430. Passcode is 1122. Again, that's 218-339-6430. Passcode is 1122. And again, we're on every Sunday at 3 p.m. Unless otherwise stated. If it's going to change, we'll definitely let you all know. All right, Yosef, cuz, any closing remarks?
No, I'm just glad to. We apologize for going so long. We had to get it in today, though. But I think it was a very important topic. I think we got a lot of things clear. I think we definitely opened some people's mind. And for one to disagree, that's fine. All knowledge is good knowledge, and that's a fact. All knowledge is good knowledge. So I'm just grateful for this forum and the fact that we was able to touch a few people today, and hopefully we was able to open somebody's mind. So I think the family. I think all y'all, and also all the people that's going to listen to this on YouTube and Facebook and stuff. We thank all y'all too for listening.
Wonderful. Also, on YouTube, being that was mentioned, it's BC, as in boy, then cat, empowerment, EMPOWERMENT. It's conglomerated. All right. Again, it's on the YouTube. BC, this audio will be on there. And you can also look at other videos. We have health and wellness on there. We have soul elevation on there. All right, where you can go in there, and there's numerous videos in there. Also, African heritage is on there. You can find out about various tribes. A lot of us that come in within the conscious community, or rather from the conscious community, a lot of us just stick with just the Cometian tribes. Well, there's more than just the Cometian tribes. If you want to get a more broader scope and spectrum of our cultures, you can definitely go into our channel there, and you can find, again, African culture. It'll broaden your perspective on the different cultures. All right. So also, my cousin Yosef has a tool making and jewelry making business called what is it, New Life Tools? Cuz you can hit them with that and tell them how they can find you on social media and stuff. We're gonna close.
Oh yeah, it's New Life Tools. NULYFE Tools. You can also hit me on that Gmail, newlifetools@gmail.com. But on Instagram is New Life Tools, and you can see some of my products up there. I don't got a lot of it up there, but you can see some of my products. And anybody who want to get some, just let me know.
All right, Brother David Miller, if you would, please reiterate to the audience how they can reach out and touch you as well. And also, if you guys don't know, Brother David Miller is the one that does the BC Empowerment YouTube channel, and he is the one who converts the actual audio into a video for the School of Thought program. Brother David.
All right. So I don't have a website up yet. I took my website down, but be sure to tune into School of Thought. Our Sunday show usually will be up before Wednesday, so you can look for School of Thought on the BCE Empowerment channel. But if you want to get in touch with me, I'm reachable on Instagram as Black Sheep Cap, Black Sheep _CAP. So yeah, it's one word, but if you're visual and can't read, then just look for a guy with a cap that has a Black Sheep logo on the cap, the front of it. So yeah, and I appreciate being on this show. I'm thankful that you guys let me on here and see you guys saw it in me to actually put me on the show, because the level of conversation and knowledge that's been put on here, I know you guys don't just let anybody on here. So I appreciate you guys honoring me to allow me to speak on the level that we're on now. So that's my spiel.
We appreciate you, brother.
You know it. Peace, family.
All right.
Yes, sir. Peace, family. Peace.